Welcome to day 4 of Sparks in the Darkness. There's a fascinating Gemara in Tainus that depicts the most graphic story of a beautiful incident that takes place right in the time of the destruction of the first Beis Hamikdash. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught in a brisa, Mishacharav Habayis Barishona, when the first Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, Nikbetzu Kitos Shal Parchi Kahuna. All these young Kohanim came up and gathered they came up to the rooftop and they had the keys to the main sanctuary of the Beit HaMikdash in their hands. Va'alu lagag, and again they went up to that roof. Amru lefanav, and they said before Hashem, Ribono Shlolam, Hoil v'lo zachinu liyos gizbaran nemanim. We haven't been trustworthy keepers of the keys that you have given us to the Beit HaMikdash. Yiyu maftechot mesurot lach. So we want to give the keys back to you. Fascinating story. What happens next? Uzrakum klape mala. They take the keys and they throw them all up to the heavens. V'yatzta kein pisas yad v'kiblasan mehem. And some sort of a heavenly hand emerged from the sky and caught all the keys within. V'him kaptzu v'naflu l'tocha or v'alean. So they went after they threw the keys up. They jumped into the fires of the Beit Hamikdash when the temple was burning. And Yeshayahu Hanavi, the prophet Isaiah, he decides to offer a lament to them, and the Gemara goes on to quote the pasuk about what took place in this incident. And I think that perhaps an important takeaway over here, and just to imagine this imagery, it's quite incredible. The Kohanim throwing the keys up, and Hashem's hand again. Kivayachol, God doesn't have a hand, but some sort of heavenly hand coming to catch them demonstrates that these do not belong in heaven. The point of these keys to the temple to be able to enlighten the world with the beauty of the Beit HaMikdash, these keys don't belong in heaven, they belong down on earth. And ultimately, therefore, what we have to realize is that when we have this time of the 3 weeks, the goal is for us to be able to stand essentially with our hands held wide open, waiting for those keys to be brought back down again. This time is not about only being in a pit of doom and destruction, of being sad and crying all day long because we don't have this. It's about preparing ourselves to be able to keep our hands held wide open to receive those keys once again. Ultimately, if they wanted to destroy the keys, if Hashem wanted to destroy the keys, he would have thrown them in the fire. The fact that they were saved means that Hashem's waiting to drop them down again. Let us continue in this journey of the 3 weeks to be able to properly prepare ourselves to catch them when God lets them go and entrust them within us once again. Wishing everyone a beautiful day.